Welcome to Historial World. In this video, we are going to share interesting facts about San Francisco. Let's get started. From a culture filled with tech startups, a diverse food scene, and funky neighborhoods to big-ticket must-sees including the Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, and hilly rides on cable cars, there's so much that makes San Francisco a fun travel destination. Known for being at the epicenter of the hippie movement in the late 1960s, San Francisco prides itself on being an open-minded city with a bohemian soul. With a varied history that dates back to 1835, when the first European settlers arrived in the city, there are a lot of things you need to know about San Francisco. Below, we've compiled a list of some of our favorite San Francisco facts that might just surprise you. 1. Golden Gate Park is bigger than Central Park. A San Francisco fun fact that might surprise you is the fact that the famous Central Park in New York City is smaller than San Francisco's glorious Golden Gate Park by 20%. Central Park in New York covers 778 acres, while Golden Gate Park is 1017 acres. 2. The famous San Francisco fog has a name. There are two things that San Francisco is notorious for: steep rolling hills and fog, which the locals refer to as Carl. The origins of the name are uncertain. Some people believe the fog was named after the giant Carl from the film Big Fish in 2003, however, others have said that the fog has been called Carl for decades. 3. The Chinese fortune cookie was invented in San Francisco. In the late 1890s, Makoto Hagiwara, a Japanese immigrant of San Francisco, invented the modern-day fortune cookie, which he served at the Golden Gate Park's Tea Garden. For a unique experience, one of our favorite San Francisco travel tips is to head to the Ross Alley Fortune Cookie Factory in Chinatown. Here, you can watch fortune cookies being made by the dozens and buy them fresh to enjoy yourself. 4. The famous Pier 39 sea lions aren't long-term residents of the city. The famous sea lions that sunbathe off of Pier 39 in Fisherman's Wharf haven't always been there. A cause that no one's been able to explain. The sea lions only arrived after the earthquake in 1989. Originally, business owners on the wharf didn't like the sea lions being there as they were too loud, but now they are a major tourist attraction. 5. The Golden Gate Bridge was meant to be black and gold, similar to most bridges of the early 20th century. The famous Golden Gate Bridge was originally meant to be black and gold. The bright color came to be as a result of Irving Morrow, the bridge's consulting architect, noticing the striking reddish-tinged primer coat that was painted on some of the steel. 6. San Francisco is home to the oldest Chinatown in North America. There are many reasons why visiting Chinatown is on the top of many what to do in San Francisco lists. Established in 1848, the city's Chinatown is the oldest in North America. Not only that, measuring 1 mile in length and half a mile wide, it is also the second largest Chinatown outside of Asia. 7. San Francisco is built on more than 50 hills. It's not unknown that San Francisco is a hilly city. However, it might surprise you to learn that the city is built on more than 50 hills. While many believe that the city is only made up of 7 or 9 hills, there are actually more than 50 named hills. Some of the most well-known are Russian Hill, Nob Hill, Telegraph Hill, and Twin Peaks. 8. San Francisco is not a large city. A San Francisco fact that might come as a surprise. Despite having a population of more than 7 million people, the city is actually quite small. Measuring only 7 miles in both length and width, San Francisco is definitely not large. 9. Alcatraz wasn't always a prison. Alcatraz, which means pelican in Spanish, hasn't always been a prison. In fact, prior to becoming a prison in 1934, Alcatraz was used as a military fort. 10. San Francisco is home to the largest Japantown in the United States. Once upon a time, the state of California alone was home to 43 different Japantowns. However, after World War II, most Japantowns were lost, leaving just 3 in the country in total. The largest and oldest Japantown in the US can be found in San Francisco. The other 2 Japantowns are located in San Jose and Los Angeles. 11. The city hasn't always been named San Francisco. Founded in 1776, the city of San Francisco wasn't named so until 1846. Prior to the renaming, the city was known as Yerba Buena, which means good herb in Spanish. The city got its original name from the wild mint that grew around the areas where the first European settlers pitched their tents. 12. San Francisco, the historic city. If you consider yourself a bit of a history buff and are wondering what it is for you to do in San Francisco, you'll be pleased to know that you won't encounter any shortages of experiences and sights. The city is home to more than 200 historic landmark buildings, 11 historical districts, and 14,000 Victorian homes. Thank you for watching.